Hey there, it's a beautiful spring morning, and I've had some really interesting prayer time lately, and had a couple of thoughts I wanted to share. Felt a little compelled to put out. Haven't posted in a while, and I just happened to watch this. There's an interview on YouTube. It was they were interviewing Gabe Perot, Poirot, I believe. I'll put the link in the description, but he had an accident a few years ago when he had a near-death experience. But he was just now talking about his time in heaven, and I've seen a lot of those, but for some reason this one just moved me a little differently. And one thing that really caught my attention was he was saying, Jesus really hates religion when he wants and loves his family. And that got me to thinking about a church we had went to recently, where actually that was the word that came to my mind whenever I was trying to describe it to somebody. It was like I felt like it was kind of like family. It was very just kind of casual. You felt really comfortable there. Except the thing that hit me was that everybody was talking, and but then as soon as the music started, pull out the hymn books and sing, and it's solemn. It's like you sing and get through with the music, everything's back to talking. I'm like, why is it that worship, our singing, just like where we get so stifled? And I really like, it would just make sense, because Lucifer was he was the angel that was the worship leader in heaven before he fell from heaven. And of course he's going to try to take our freedom and liberty in worship and music. And that's the one thing he knows, is opens up the heavens. That's the one thing, our praises and our uninhibited worship is what brings breakthrough. And that I was just like, yeah, that it makes sense. We've got to get free from that. We as a church, we have got to break free and be delivered from that oppression that we are under in our worship. I believe that the church that will allow itself to be undignified like King David and let go and truly be able to sing and dance before the Lord, it's going to be the church that breaks out in all the true what God has for it. I'm waiting for that day because I'm ready. Second thing is, I was thinking about that, how the church needs to be united. If we're a family, we need to be united. And what came to me was, I don't know if that movie Miracle about the 1980 Olympic hockey team, how throughout the movie they are always, they'll interview or they'll show a hockey player, and the coach will say, who you play for, and he'll say University of Massachusetts, whatever the name was. And every time they say their name and then who they play for. And the goal is that they become united for the USA team. So after they had lost a game, and it was one long big practice after the game. Finally, one player comes up and says his name, and he says his name, and the coach says, and who do you play for? And he says, the United States of America. And that's like that climatic moment, where it's like, yes, they've come together. They are now a team. And even in that movie, they want to introduce another player, and the team says no. He says, why? He's a good player. He can help us out. And the team goes, no, because we're a family. And that's what, we're a family. We are a body. And we should be acting like one. We should be able to, in a family, you can come in and be yourself. You can come in, that in a healthy family, I guess I should say, that you can be yourself. And I just think God's calling us in that direction. Be open to that today. See what your spirit says about it. And thanks for listening if you got this far. I hope you have a blessed day. See you later.